areas that the Iraqi military is protecting.
While we were at access point 2, an Iraqi patrol rolled by, and Bob wanted to know if he could ride along with them to experience an Iraqi patrol firsthand. And so I put them into the back of the vehicle, and I closed the doors behind them, and I felt pretty comfortable that everything was going to be okay.
Almost immediately, Doug had gone up one of the tank hatches.
I'm filming the scenery. You can try if you want.
The tank noise was so loud, his voice was just lost in this rumbling of this tank. So we decided it's not going to work, just forget it. So Bob had come back down and we had a discussion. He said, okay, but you know, Bob can't stay crouched down in a tank for more than 10 seconds. And so he immediately popped up, but this time into the other tank hole where Doug was.
I was filming Coconut Grove, and then the Iraqi gunner said to me that this is a very bad area because there's lots of insurgents there. And I thought this is probably a place for us to get down. And shortly after he said that,
it's like bang. This shakes everything, and then everything comes to a standstill.
I immediately hopped out of my vehicle.
We were taking fire.
And ran about 250 meters up from my vehicle, hoping that nobody was hurt,
from our
hoping that everything was okay.
and then you saw the camera falling inside, covered in blood,
just
and then I
flying
saw
through, and you don't know
Doug's legs hanging in the air.
And I remember looking to the right and seeing Bob's body lean over, just crumbled into the tank.
And I was lying on my back on top of the tank. I could hear gunfire,
you see dirt, smoke, you see
explosions, and soldiers or people screaming.
And I remember noticing a hole in the side of his neck.
I couldn't move. Bob was having some sort of convulsions.
I remember thinking the only thing that I knew how to do at that moment was to just put my hand over his neck.
Turn his eyes.
I remember thinking to myself,
he would pass out again.
Just don't die. You can't be dead. You cannot be dead. This can't be happening.
Screaming, come back. You're all right.
Bob turned around and he looked right at me. He said to me, am I alive? And I said, you're alive. I said, you're alive. You're going to be okay. Am I alive? And I just kept telling him to hang in there. It's going to be fine. We're going to get out of here. We're going to get out of here.
The phone rang, and the voice said, Lee, this is David Weston, who's the president of ABC News, and my heart sort of stopped. You know, I knew that this wasn't good. He said, Bob's been hurt, and we think he's taken shrapnel to the brain. And I don't remember a lot of the conversation after that, actually.
Bill, we have some breaking news to report. Our co-anchor of World News Tonight, Bob Woodruff, and his cameraman, Doug Vogt, were injured in an attack.
We are following developments on the condition of ABC News anchor Bob Woodruff.
ABC News anchor Bob Woodruff.
Bob and Doug were quickly evacuated to a U.S. military
have head
hospital.
injuries. They are in the hospital.
About all
right
we really know is that both are in serious condition.
Bob is currently in surgery in Balad.
For a period of at least a couple of hours, Doug was out, and we were told it was not life-threatening, and he would, in all likelihood, survive, while Bob was still in surgery, and we didn't know.
I couldn't quite believe it. Bob was on top of the world. I mean, he was the anchor of the evening news. He was in Iraq. He was riding this wave. It was really hard to believe that this was happening. I can still remember watching them take Bob and Doug to the tarmac to load them into the plane that was going to take us back to Germany, that was going to get them out of Iraq. And as soon as I walked into that plane, I saw just rows of soldiers and Marines that had been wounded, some seriously wounded, and lying in these bunk beds almost. And I remember thinking to myself, that kid can't be more than 18 years old, 19 years old, and, you know, just wounded, just injured in a bad way.
Increasingly, both Bob and Doug, surrounded by people who love them. Bob's wife, Lee, and his brother, David, have arrived here at the hospital.
We got a quick briefing from the doctor, and then we were allowed to see him. And it was terrifying to walk in that ICU. David and I went first, his brother.
When we walked in, we met up with the nurse who was attending to him.
And first she took us to his right side, because that was the side that was away from the explosion.
But when I walked around to the other side, the left side, that's when I saw what just did not look like Bob.
It was tough to stand there and look at him because he wasn't moving. I mean, he was on a ventilator. He's got all these things hooked up, and thinking, you know, what happened here? How did we get to this point?
Bob Woodruff, Doug Vogt, our ABC colleagues and friends are at this moment being flown from Germany back to Bethesda Naval Medical Center. And as Robin said,
it must have been the day we left. A quilt was handed to me, made by volunteers. And they said that every soldier going through gets one. And they put them around their legs when they fly back. And we'd asked if we could fly on that flight, and the answer was no. It was cold, it was long, there was nowhere to sit. There was so much equipment. And they said, you know, the blanket will be there. The blanket will be like you.
Having a bladder control problem is bad enough. What makes it worse is the constant worry. The worry that your problem is as obvious as if you'd announced it to the world. But the good news is overactive bladder is a real medical condition. The symptoms can be treated. And the great news? There's one brand doctors prescribe more than any other, Detrol LA. With just one pill, Detrol LA works 24 hours, all day and all night, to help calm the bladder muscle that causes those frequent sudden urges. If you have certain stomach problems, glaucoma, or trouble getting urine to pass, you shouldn't take Detrol LA. The most common side effects are dry mouth, headache, constipation, and abdominal pain. All medicines have benefits and risks, and there may be other options, so ask your doctor if Detrol LA is right for you. When you find something that can help calm your bladder, imagine what that can do for you.
I've heard so much about you.
Detrol LA helps keep an overactive bladder quieter.
I have an absolute inability to trust anyone.
I'm extremely jealous.
Well, this promises to be a lovely evening.
Say yes to love. Own a good year today.
Tomorrow, Bob Woodruff, his first report back for World News. The only thing more incredible than this Marine's brutal injuries is how, with the help of his mother, he's recovering.
So, yeah, it's amazing.
Tomorrow, see why more and more Americans are watching World News with Charles Gibson.
Wednesday, if you missed this episode,
it's dangerous. Let's look death in the face and say, whatever, man.
You won't know what everyone is talking about in the morning.
Are you sure you want to do this? Victory or death?
The terrific, riveting, 4-star adventure does it again. The rescue mission begins.
They've got him, and we have to get him back. I owe him that. I'm going to get Jack.
And the long-awaited reunion is finally here. An all-new episode of Lost, Wednesday at 10/9 Central, only on ABC.
Hey, tighten up on your camera in front of you.
I was here when Bob came in. He came intubated with a tube in, and he had a large incision inside of his head. He was very swollen. He had the pock marks from being close to the explosion that were embedded into his skin, and he just didn't look like the same individual, and most of these guys don't. And I remember thinking to myself, this is pretty bad. This is pretty serious, yeah.
When we got to the hospital, there were just so many doctors. I just remember thinking all of these people are caring for Bob. It was ENTs, it was the neurosurgeon, it was the general surgeon.
It's like, okay, now we're going to hear from all these guys who are going to tell us, you know, again, that he's in great shape, we expect him to recover, you know, but I don't think we were prepared for the detail we were going to get.
When Bob first arrived here, he was in a semi-comatose state. He was not following commands. Injury involving the left hemisphere. He wasn't opening his eyes spontaneously. The left side of his neck, face, and into his brain.
Significant penetrating injury to the head.
Amount of blast force
to the side of the brain that includes speech as well as receptive.
Having had required an operation far forward that involved a left hemicraniectomy, taking off half the skull to decrease his brain pressure and to stop the bleeding.
If you look at all the brain injuries we see at Bethesda, his was on a high end of being severe.
He had one particular rock that was about $1/2 in size that completely traversed from the left side of his neck to the right side of his neck, and that was sitting right on top of the carotid artery. Very, very lucky that that particular rock didn't cut the artery in half. Certainly the surgery he had had done in Iraq saved his life. The real question was, what kind of individual we'll have at the end of this period?
I remember asking if he was blind or deaf, and they didn't know. And I remember good news about his blood vessels and that it looked like he hadn't had any kind of seizure. I mean, there were good things, there were bad things, and there were huge, huge question marks.
Bob was very critical, so as his nurse, I did not leave his bedside. If family was in there, I would sit outside the room and either do charting or just pretty much be there if they needed anything. But Bob's whole family was there almost all the time.
I would come up next to him, I would show him pictures of the kids, I would stroke the good side of his face. And sometimes I'd just sit there and talk to him, and I would tell him stories. I would tell him jokes. I would tell him little vignettes from our life. I was hoping that somewhere inside there he was hearing all of this. I think we just all expected Bob would wake up in a couple of days, and he didn't.
One of the most difficult parts of traumatic brain injury is that there's a great deal of unknown. There's unknown in terms of how the family is going to adapt to this change. There's an unknown about the individual who has had the brain injury in terms of what their level of recovery is going to be.
There's still a lot we do not know about traumatic brain injury, a lot. And most of the information we have is from the civilian literature on sports-related concussions. But a concussion injury is a lot different than a blast wave from a 300-ton IED.
Realize what we're talking about here is the most complex injury to the most complex organ of the body. And you have to be realistic with the family. You have to explain to them that you don't know the future. The patient's profound injury may be such that he never returns back to his prior baseline. That may indicate someone who's unable to take care of himself, maybe someone who requires the same kind of attention you would give to a child.
I always took a deep breath every time I walked in his room, because I tried to sort of calibrate how much hope I was going to have that day. You know, would he move? Would he look at me? Would his eyes open as they did in later weeks with just sort of the lights were on but nobody was home?
The thing that was kind of haunting us this whole time was, you know, will he be able to talk? Will he be able to swallow?
As the days turned to weeks, it just got harder and harder to sit there not knowing. And as good as the doctors all were and everything, they're, I mean, so helpful and caring and comforting, nobody could say, you know, he'll be back.
I wanted to know, you know, how he would feel about me, if he would recognize me. And so I looked at Dr. Armanda and I said, you know, will he still love me? And he said yes. He said that he hasn't had a patient yet who didn't wake up and love the people that he loved before. And he was right. He was always right. So I walked in the room and I parted the curtain, and Bob was sitting up in bed. And he turned to me and he said, "Sweetie, where have you been?" Just like that.
Oh, yeah,
Where did I get you? And I think I rushed over to him and, you know, gave him a big kiss. And then I thought, okay, where do I begin?
That's nice. You want to see that there's a nice right here? There's like a lot of
No, I'm just looking right
I picked up the phone and it was Lee. And she said, "Dave, I'm here with your brother in the hospital, and we've had a little bit of a miracle. He's awake, he's talking, he's asking what happened to him."
What do you think, Big Dave?
So how was it?
And I couldn't believe it.
I'm in shock. Who? Did we ever get any pictures? Did we take pictures of our stuff there? When we finally got into Iraq, with
Iraq?
In Iraq?
Yeah. I just sat next to his bed and started talking to him.
You had a car, right?
Yeah, camera. I could just see it in his eyes that he had just had all these questions. And he was trying to get a few of them out, and he wanted to know more, and he wasn't sure. And I remember walking out of there feeling really good, feeling like, you know, Bob's back.
I'm gonna have to go away from the double background. I'm just gonna have to do a one thing.
So Bob wakes up, starts talking, and for us, it was a huge relief. We all just couldn't believe it. But I think for him, it was like the beginning.
6 years ago, we woke up after 33 years.
No, days ago. He woke up. For him, who's just struggling to try to figure out what happened, and he was scared, but he knew right away how lucky he was.
Really unstill.
Hold on.
Everything's like really unstill today.
Really on what?
The other day, I'm like, hey, how you guys doing?
You're tired. You're tired. So that's, the doctors say that's the way it's going to go. Some days you're going to be real energetic, and then you can get tired.
Could you give me back the one that has scissors on it?
Has a vision?
Has scissors.
This is a phone for making a cut.
Are those scissors?
The doctors had made the statement over and over again that brain-injured people will be different. And they'd say it could be in all kinds of different ways. They could like things they didn't like before. They could, speak differently, certainly. But the brother, the husband, the father started coming back, and it keeps coming back.
I don't think so. Oh, so great to be home.
Did you watch the world today?
Pill bottle, candle with a wick.
Watching the brain put itself together has been an incredible miracle.
What is this one called?
It's an H.
Oh, yeah. Hammer.
Yep.
Hammer. H-A-M-O-R. Hammer. H-A-M-M-E-R. Hammer. Ball. Eyeball. Mm-hmm. You taught me.
We could see him physically getting stronger.
Belt buckle.
What?
Belt buckle.
Belt burl.
Belt buckle.
Bet buckle.
Belt.
Belt.
Belts.
Bout.
No, Nora, you're confusing him. Belt.
Belt.
Buckle.
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 Belt.
Buckle.
Buckle. Belt buckle. You taught me. Belt buckle.
Diamond.
You did it.
Diamond.
I can't really talk, but I can certainly dance and dance.
Even at the lowest moments, in my core of my heart, I always believed he would be okay. Even when the doctors were telling me something different, I would look at them and I would say, but you don't know my husband. You don't know my Bob. He's a fighter, and he's smart, and he wants to live. And I think they thought I was all crazy. But now I can say, I was right.
Which way do we get in?
You ready?
This way?
I dreamed about going back to Bethesda a lot. I wanted to go back and thank everybody there. This is what we had to look at every day. I had to picture you. I used to think that that was you and Vinny. And I wanted more than anything for them to see him so well, because they never really got to see my Bob.
Hey, Bob. How are you? Bob is an amazingly lucky man. For him to survive the initial injury.
That's mine?
Yeah, it is.
For him to make as rapid of a recovery as he has, for him to function at the level that he's currently functioning, he's amazingly lucky.
You have defied every single textbook written. You have no business speaking, Mr. Woodruff. You really don't. I'm sorry to say that, but you don't.
You probably don't remember me, but I took care of you.
Did you really?
Yeah. No, it's unbelievable.
I've seen probably less than 5 that have actually been able to walk back into the ICU and thank us for what we did. So to me, he's a miracle. His recovery was a miracle.
I'm going to show you where your room was. And your nurses would be outside. And then we'd walk in, and this is it. This is where you were, only you were flat out, and your bad side was over there. You okay? You made it, though. So I used to bring the kids around to your good side because your bad side was here. And that was hard for them to see you, that cut up and your head swollen. There have been little steps along the way where Bob has realized the enormity of just what everybody went through. And I think that day for him was one of those moments where, you know, another piece fell into place. It's been quite a journey, huh? To think that other people are at the starting gate.
I wonder how many people have gone through here since then.
This is you. You've awakened in the dark because your sleep aid didn't give you a full night of sleep. And all you can do is lie there and wish you could go back to sleep. Tomorrow, ask your doctor about Lunesta. Non-narcotic Lunesta can help you sleep 7 to 8 peaceful, quiet hours. Lunesta helps you fall asleep quickly, so take it right before bed. Be sure you have at least 8 hours to devote to sleep before becoming active. Always talk to your doctor first before taking sleep aids for extended periods. Until you know how you'll react to Lunesta, you should not drive or operate machinery. Do not take Lunesta with alcohol. Most sleep medicines carry some risk of dependency. Side effects may include unpleasant taste, headache, drowsiness, and dizziness. Tomorrow night, leave the rest to Lunesta.
Everything all right?
No, I lost my Sprint BlackBerry. It's got my contacts, my calendar, my email. It's got
Just a joke.
For great deals on BlackBerry handhelds, call 1-8-SPRINT-BIZ or visit sprint.com/business.
Sprint. Power up.
Imagine someone out there, somewhere in the world, not related to you, but who looks exactly like you. Think it's possible? Friday, this man's out to prove it. So what would you do if you came face-to-face with yourself in a total stranger? Watch 20/20 Friday, stories that touch your life.
The plane rammed through her house.
It came out of nowhere, like a missile.
It's a miracle she survived. Their life as they knew it was completely gone.
Bringing my family home is a total dream.
This Sunday, from the depths of disaster, one family rises again. An all-new Extreme Makeover Home Edition, Sunday 8/7 Central, only on ABC.
As fortunate as I've been so far, I understand the lifelong challenges presented by traumatic brain injury, or TBI. TBI has become the signature injury of the war in Iraq, but it's an injury few understand or even see. In the weeks after I woke up, I began to wonder about all the soldiers and Marines with brain injuries. What is happening to them when they return home? The willingness with which our young people are likely to serve in any war, no matter how justified, shall be directly proportional as to how they perceive the veterans of earlier wars were treated and appreciated by their country. George Washington, 1789.
Hi, how are you? I'm Bob Woodruff.
Oh, hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. How you doing? Are you William?
This is Will.
How are you, my friend? How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, do you remember anything that happened over there?
Yeah, you look great.
Yeah, thanks, man.
23-year-old Army Sergeant William Glass from Eugene, Oregon, served with the 4th Infantry Division.
Later. Yeah, how you feeling?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Sergeant Glass suffered a traumatic brain injury a month earlier during his 2nd deployment in Iraq.
Where were you exactly? Do you remember when you got hit?
I was in Taji.
In Taji?
Yeah.
Sounds familiar to me.
Yeah, it is and shit.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't touch it too much, yeah.
How long did it take you to get better?
Well, it's still going on, you know.
My mom is knowing because I can't do having a
20-year-old Marine Corporal Jeff Landay is from El Dorado Hills, California. He suffered a traumatic brain injury in Iraq when his Humvee was hit by a roadside bomb last May.
Has your pain gone away since this went on?
I can't say it.
He's asking if it hurts. Does it hurt?
I know, but
okay.
I can't say it. I mean,
like me, he was injured in the part of his brain that controls speech.
Do you need to sit down?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. Let's go. Just take you back where you were.
Okay.
We've only lost a handful of these young men and women that have come by, but that's just the loss of life. That's not the loss of quality of life or the loss of their ability to be the person that they were prior to coming to us.
26-year-old Army Sergeant Michael Boothby from Comfort, Texas, suffered a brain injury when he was hit by an IED in Iraq last September.
1, 2, and 3.
Okay, you hold yourself up for a minute so I can turn the alarm off.
Okay.
Don't move to that chair.
His father and his wife Megan have been by his side since his return to the States.
We do this all day, back and forth.
Up, son.
Up. There you go.
Chair wasn't very balanced.
You all right?
Mm-hmm. I'm ready to go back to bed, though.
When we first got here, the doctor said, you know, if he wakes up, it'll be in 2 weeks. If. That word stuck. But he's doing so good.
What do you think right now? I mean, the guys like this that have pretty much the similar thing.
I think it's horrible. The amount of injuries that come in here every day, the amount of soldiers. We've been here a month and we've seen so many people come in and out. It's heart-wrenching. I pray every night for my husband. Most of my prayers go for those soldiers that are still there.
I think the public should be aware that there is devastation and injury going on. We hear on the news X amount of service members killed, but we never hear about injured.
Our soldiers are going through really terrible things, and the general public is just not aware.
These servicemen all have traumatic brain injuries, and with their families are part of an organization called the Wounded Warrior Project.
Traumatic brain injury is that unseen injury. This injury is invisible.
No one wants to go to Richmond and see, like, the Marine Corps captain that lived in the room next to him that was drooling on himself and wearing diapers. It goes from being graphic to disturbing, and people don't want to see the disturbing part. I don't think people can handle that.
Jared, can you tell me the story about what happened to you?
May 25th, 2005. I was shot in the head, entered on the right side, and it wrapped around the inside of my helmet, exit on the back left side.
And how has it changed in all of this time?
It sucks.
I think I agree with you on this one.
The more injured soldiers and Marines I met, the more I understood how fortunate I have been in my own recovery.
Gail? Hi. Hey, how are you? to see you.
For the families of the most severely brain-injured soldiers and Marines, daily life can be a tremendous challenge.
You in the ICU, but Shiva was on the 5th floor, but I'm so happy for you. Oh.
Gail Eulery's son, Shervon, was in Bethesda Naval Hospital the same time I was. Shervon Phillip is a 26-year-old Marine sergeant from Cleveland, Ohio. When his Humvee was hit by an IED back in May of 2005, he suffered a severe brain injury.
Oh, can you look over here? Look, oh, look over here. See you on camera, look. There you go.
It left him unable to move and unable to speak.
You gotta smile for the girls. Say hi.
There's a smile.
But he understands what is going on around him.
When it first happened, I was told that he would not be able to speak again. I was like, no, it's not gonna happen. And I went into his room and I held him and I was like, Siobhan, you can't do this. You have to fight. You have to fight to make sure you're okay. You can get up and walk again. And it didn't happen.
You know, there's not enough money in the world, really, that you can give people to make up for the loss that these people are suffering physically, mentally, and emotionally.
You think that the public knows how hard they're going through in this kind of situation?
I'm not sure they do. The pain and the suffering that they go through, plus that their families go through. There's a tremendous sacrifice.
What's it like to go back and look at these times now?
It's precious.
Precious?
Yes. Precious memories. Precious memories.
Snoozed your bus again. The boss is not gonna be happy.
He's already got enough on his mind.
Yeah, and I'm still not sleeping.
No, you don't say.
We just want you back.
Listen, Chief.
Doug.
Whatever. It's time to call your doctor.
But if I need a prescription, I don't want to get hooked.
No worries. There's something different.
Let's go. I need a latte.
When you can't sleep, you can't dream. That's why there's Roserum, the first and only prescription sleep aid that in clinical studies shows no potential for abuse or dependence. That means you can take it as long as you need it and stop when you don't. Your doctor can explain why Roserum is so different. Don't take Roserum if you're taking Luvox, fluvoxamine, or have severe liver problems. Avoid taking it with alcohol. Don't drive or operate machinery until you know how you'll react to Roserum. Roserum may affect some hormones. Consult your doctor about how this may affect you, or if your insomnia doesn't improve. Take Roserum right before bed. Side effects may include drowsiness, fatigue, and dizziness.
Sorry I'm late. Haven't been sleeping.
Tell me about it.
Each season, the celebrities surprise us. Starting Monday, March 19th, 11 new stars make their move. A supermodel, a legend, a talk show host, a world boxing champion, a 90210, a multi-platinum performer, a TV mobster, a boy band star, a Miss USA bombshell, Olympic gold medalist, and one celebrity. With the ultimate dancing challenge, let the thrills begin. Dancing with the Stars returns live Monday, March 19th, only on ABC.
Bob's journey continues after this from our ABC stations.
ABC Sunday.
I always get texts on our anniversary.
Just try not to wake me.
Is the night that stays with you.
Is that a threat?
You bet it's a threat.
All week long.
I'll take you to dinner. My treat.
It would be your treat. I'm a hot date. Rock me. You make me happy.
All new episodes of Desperate Housewives and Brothers and Sisters. Sunday starting at 9/8 Central after an all-new Extreme Makeover Home Edition only on ABC.
Tonight at 11 on KATU News.
Said, oh my God, I hope it's not Jake, because apparently he has been driving.
He heard sirens and feared the worst. How a 12-year-old was allowed to drive, causing a crash that took his life with an adult in the car. And KATU investigates why homes are repeatedly built on dangerous ground.
Watching a stretch of time coming up where the air is going to be colder than it's been. That could mean all snow for everybody. The updated forecast tonight on KATU News at 11.
Comcast now offers home phone service. This is not internet phone. It's a new, reliable choice in home phone service built from the ground up. With digital voice quality, 12 calling features, voicemail, plus unlimited nationwide long distance. All included for one low monthly price. You can even keep your current phone number when you switch. Call 1-800-COMCAST today and pick up Comcast Digital Voice for as low as $39.95 a month. So are you going to get it?
Listen up, America. The Cheesy Bites Pizza is back.
It's back!
There's never been a pizza more pullable, more poppable, or more irresistible. Get a large one topping now for just $11.99. Want more fun? Get America's favorite pizza, Pizza Hut.
Tired of paying too much for your glasses? Binions has the answer. Half off all frames and lenses during the Binions half off sale. Most glasses are ready in about an hour. The Binions half off sale for a limited time. Binions, why pay more?
KATU investigates how to know if your home is built on dangerous ground at 11.
The Veterans Administration runs the largest health care system in the nation, serving 5.5 million veterans.
I'm pleased to announce my nomination of Ambassador Jim Nicholson.
Since February of 2005, West Point graduate, Vietnam veteran, and former chairman of the Republican National Committee, Jim Nicholson.
Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Has served in President Bush's cabinet as Secretary of Veterans Affairs.
I say to our people, we're the agents of a grateful nation, and our job is to take first-class care of these people, some of them, unfortunately, for the rest of their life.
Do you think that the government is doing everything it can possibly do for them?
I do. Well, you say everything possible. That's a tough thing to say yes to, but we're doing a tremendous amount for them, and they appreciate it.
In 2005, in response to the growing number of soldiers returning from Iraq with traumatic injuries, the VA set up 4 special polytrauma rehabilitation centers, such as this one in Tampa, Florida.
How you doing? I'm a little better every day.
After servicemen with the most severe injuries leave a military hospital like Bethesda, they come here for inpatient rehabilitation. 60% of the Iraq and Afghanistan veterans they see here suffer from brain injuries.
The needs of each of these individuals are much greater, too.
Dr. Stephen Scott helped establish the rehab centers like this within the VA. As this war began, how many vets did you expect to come back with injuries?
Very few.
When you began to see some of these soldiers with brain injuries, what did it look like to you?
Then we knew we were in a different war. Our ability to handle acute medical problems at the war front, to save lives that we haven't saved before, had made this war a lot different than anything that we've ever experienced before.
How are you, bro? Look at you.
This is Sergeant Michael Boothby, who I first met back at Bethesda Naval Hospital with his wife Megan 6 weeks earlier.
I'm doing so good right now.
You get this. At least you get to smile a little bit more than last time.
Last time I wasn't all there. You have to make things difficult.
I know.
Sergeant Boothby's therapy, 3 to 5 hours daily, helped him relearn everyday skills and strengthened his left arm and leg.
And then put it on with the left one. There you go.
Mike, try to do this. Try to sit on your good hand and just see if you could use your left hand at all, okay?
Yeah, see, it's the distance from his eyes that's difficult.
Yes.
Can you see me doing this?
Now I can, because I'm looking at you.
Yeah. So, but it's out the left side of your eyes you can't see, right? Like right now, I look at when I look at your chin right there, I can't see this part of your head up there.
Yeah, that's kind of like what it is. I look at you, and I can't see your left eye, your right eye.
I look at your nose, I can't see your left eye. So if you and I stick together, we got 100%.
Exactly.
After 3 weeks here, Sergeant Boothby made good progress.
We're going to go through what goals and what things we have
accomplished. The day before he left, Dr. Scott ran this teleconference to make sure Sergeant Boothby's rehabilitation would continue without interruption once he got home.
and what goals that
The regional VA hospital in Dallas would be responsible for coordinating his care back in Texas.
He's done remarkably well, a very highly motivated individual, has a lot of deficiencies he's working on.
There's a significant difference between what you're doing as a VA hospital here versus some of the other smaller ones in other cities around the country about the brain injury situation. Is that right?
That's correct. Because we see a lot more here, we have more experience.
So if you're going to a very small town someplace, is it much more difficult to get help with a brain injury?
Absolutely.
If you've got TBI and you're one of these smaller VA systems, is it much more difficult to get help for TBI?
No, it wouldn't be much more difficult.
I'll tell you what one doctor told us, that they're not completely prepared.
I don't agree with them. If I did, believe me, I would say so, because we have organized the VA with this priority for these combatants coming back.
TBI is new, and the VA hospitals know nothing about it.
The veterans and their families I spoke to said the VA isn't fully prepared to care for brain-injured veterans once they return home.
Brain injuries is a part-time job for them.
You know, I had no idea what we were walking into, that it was going to be so minimal.
The VA did not have a place that we could put him anywhere in the hospital.
They're too willing just to give up on him and move him along, and we're not.
In July 2006, this VA Inspector General's report about brain-injured veterans found that multiple factors contribute to suboptimal access to care, and services are often very limited in communities where veterans live.
Once you leave the Department of Defense in a place like Walter Reed or one of the polytrauma units and you get home to your local VA, they may have never seen a traumatic brain injury. And if you've got a VA that hasn't been dealing with Iraq vets for any part of this war, has been dealing with Vietnam vets and Korea vets and World War II vets for the last 20, 30 years, the specialists aren't going to be there, the evaluation methods aren't going to be there, even the paperwork's not going to be there.
Comfort, Texas is about an hour outside of San Antonio. This is home for Sergeant Michael Boothby and his family.
Hey, girls. How are you guys? Can you say hello?
The local VA hospital in San Antonio didn't have a rehabilitation program to treat brain injury.
How are you? Good to see you. Hey, brother?
So the VA was supposed to arrange for him to get into private rehabilitation as soon as he returned. But when he got to Texas, his paperwork hadn't arrived.
Well, when we first got here, it was our understanding we were supposed to start therapy with the outpatient program, but there was nothing. Nothing was set up.
Do you see a big difference between being back in Tampa, for example, and being back here?
Yeah. He was doing better in Tampa. We should have never left Tampa. They weren't ready for us here.
A few days after getting to Texas, Sergeant Boothby's condition got worse.
I remember that it was really hard for me to do stuff with my left hand, and it got harder and harder.
He could no longer move his left arm, and he had difficulty speaking. And as it turned out, his brain was collecting fluid.
My brain just fell.
What is that?
The Boothbys believe that if the Dallas VA had placed him in rehabilitation on time, many of his problems would have been prevented.
Really, or very little feeling. And he's lost so much weight, it doesn't stay on very good.
The VA says it was an issue of a missing case number and that it tried to help when it learned of the problem.
Those of us who served in Iraq face kind of a second fight coming home. The VA is coming apart at the seams, and everybody sees it who deals with the VA on a daily basis. And people within the VA are working hard, and they're doing a great job. And we've got a lot of people who are really devoted and working hard for veterans. But we need to give them all the tools at this country's disposal to be able to take care of our veterans.
A message he can't ignore.
I had a dream last night. Something really important was going to happen.
What's that?
Whoa. A boy who holds the key.
Did you draw this?
Yeah.
This is the same image from my dream. What is this?
It's a map to the past and future.
This is technology that no one's ever seen before.
On March 23rd.
Let's go. The people in the future need our help.
The adventure begins.
This is so far out of my league.
The Last Mimsy, rated PG. Special preview Saturday, March 10th.
Tonight,
the miracle worker behind Bob Woodruff's amazing story of healing, how their extraordinary friendship forever changed both their lives. The Doctor and the Patient, Nightline, tonight.
And tomorrow, Bob and Lee Woodruff, their extraordinary story of love that survived so much from anger and despair.
You were angry sometimes, too. He had made a promise to you not to do this to the family.
To sharing incredible joy on one miraculous and very surprising day.
A day that will live forever.
Tomorrow, Bob and Lee Woodruff, Diane Sawyer, a special Good Morning America.
A father's death, his secret affair, and the ultimate betrayal.
We have a sister?
This is the bomb that will shake this family to its very core.
What is it? Tell me.
On an all-new Brothers and Sisters, Sunday, 10/9 Central, only on ABC.
Now Izzy's brings slow-smoked, hand-carved sirloin and savory sautéed shrimp to our nightly buffet. Tender sliced sirloin and unlimited shrimp, just $9.89 for a limited time at Izzy's, serving pizza and a whole lot more.
Push the button.
Go! At Car Toys, we do everything the carrier stores can do. Upgrades, new activations, family plans, add-a-lines. But at Car Toys, you get something extra, a better price. Now, for a limited time, only at Car Toys. All phones regularly priced up to $99 are now free, including free razors any color from Singular, T-Mobile, or Verizon Wireless. Offer must end soon. Everything the carrier stores do, plus a better price.
Car Toys. Better way to go.
I won't come to your baby shower. Won't ever ask if it's a boy or a girl. In truth, we'll never meet. But I'll be there, along with others like me, in the delivery room. And someday, you'll return the favor from me.
We are all connected and thousands strong. Regents, together, we can take charge.
Now Izzy's brings slow-smoked, hand-carved sirloin and savory sautéed shrimp to our nightly buffet. Tender sliced sirloin and unlimited shrimp, just $9.89 for a limited time at Izzy's, serving pizza and a whole lot more.
Over the past 5 years, nearly 1.5 million Americans have served in Iraq and Afghanistan. According to the Department of Defense, there have been about 23,000 non-fatal battlefield casualties, but that doesn't tell the full story. Soldiers and Marines returning home with injuries, sometimes injuries that aren't so easy to see, are increasingly turning to the Veterans Administration for care.
The numbers are staggering. The impact of these two wars in Iraq and Afghanistan is devastating to the soldiers.
Paul Sullivan was an Army scout in the first Gulf War and is now an advocate for veterans.
These are the big numbers, Bob. 200,000 have already gone into VA for medical care.
The official number is that there are only about 23,000 soldiers or Marines that have been injured in this war.
What you have are two sets of books. The Department of Defense saying that there's 23,000 wounded from the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, but the Department of Veterans Affairs is actually treating 205,000 veterans from these two wars.
According to this internal VA report, Iraq and Afghanistan veterans are being diagnosed with a wide variety of ailments, many for multiple problems. The report does not have a category for traumatic brain injury, but it does include post-traumatic stress disorder, mental disorders, infectious and parasitic diseases, and ill-defined conditions. Do you think Americans fully understand how many injured there are in this war?
I think it cuts both ways. I think Americans are always very surprised to know the number of amputations, for example, which is fewer than 600 in total. They're probably also surprised to know that, 200,000 come to the VA for some kind of medical treatment. That's probably more than they think.
You've got mental disorders, 73,000, diseases of nervous system, 61,000, symptoms, signs, and ill-defined conditions, 67,000, diseases of musculoskeletal system, 87,000. These are huge numbers beyond the 23,000.
A lot of them come in for dental problems. Others come in for a lot of the, the normal things that people have. We're providing their health care. Some, I suppose, are because of their service over there, but they weren't evacuated for that.
But they got some kind of injury, some kind of problem because of the war.
That's possible, yes.
Officially, the Department of Defense says that 1,835 soldiers and Marines have a traumatic brain injury. But these powerful explosions can rattle the brain so severely inside the skull that they cause brain damage even to those who don't appear to be injured.
Because of the blast and explosion pressure waves, we're seeing a lot more of these closed head injuries, wounds you can't see.
So unlike in amputation where everyone sees the injury, these are often invisible injuries?
That's correct.
You do believe then there's a lot of these soldiers that have come back that do in fact have brain injuries?
Absolutely.
Sergeant Nick Bennett suffered multiple wounds in an explosion in Iraq on Veterans Day 2004. His head didn't appear to be injured, but he knew something was wrong.
I went a year and a half past all the neuropsych tests, and they're like, you know, you're fine. And it's like, well, that's okay. I can't remember appointments. I can tell you I've got something next week, but who it's with, where it's at, I'm lost.
After pushing his local VA to be tested again, Sergeant Bennett was finally diagnosed with a traumatic brain injury last June. So how many months did it take for them to figure out that you got a brain issue?
It was a year and a half.
A year and a half? They didn't know?
Yeah, from November of '04 until...
The Defense and Veterans Brain Injury Center, a project inside the Department of Defense, has been screening tens of thousands of returning servicemen at several military bases for unseen brain injuries. The Department of Defense releases few details of their findings, but data obtained by ABC News shows that at least 10% may have sustained a brain injury. How many soldiers do you think, in fact, have gotten brain injuries?
I can't give you an absolute number, but I think the 10% is a good estimate, but it could be higher based on the fact that the more times and the longer you're over there, the higher frequency, higher percentage that they will have these.
That could mean that of the 1.5 million who have served or now serving in Iraq and Afghanistan, more than 150,000 people could have a brain injury that may be undiagnosed and unrecognized by the casualty numbers from the Department of Defense. Why is it not being told, generally, officially, by the government?
Sadly, Bob, what you have is the Department of Defense issuing gag orders.
Gag orders?
Yes.
On telling the truth?
What the Department of Defense has told some of their staff is to not talk to the press.
Why?
Why? It's the cost. It's the impact for recruiting, retention, the impact of the public perception of how the war is going.
The Department of Defense has said that this information is not being released for operational security reasons. While everyone who has symptoms of a brain injury may not need further treatment, the Defense and Veterans Brain Injury Center says that all returning soldiers should be screened so those who need treatment can get it. Today, that is not happening.
There's a tremendous number of people who've served who are at risk for traumatic brain injury, and those are folks who could have been anywhere in the vicinity of a blast. And those numbers could be as high as 10% of all people who've served, and I think over time what we'll see is they're higher.
Do you think as a nation we are ready to take care of all of our veterans that have come back?
No, not even close. I don't even think it's on most people's radar. I think that the willingness is there. I think inside the hearts of America's population, we want to do the right thing, but they don't even know this is on their radar.
And how about out to the side?
For those who may have undiagnosed brain injuries and those being treated, the challenge of living as an injured veteran continues.
Good. Can you touch your shoulders? Good, good, okay. And then bring
Sergeant Michael Boothby is finally getting rehabilitation near his home. It is at a private facility paid for by the Department of Defense.
From this position, can you straighten these fingers for me?
Like many who have served their country, these injured soldiers and Marines will need and deserve care and support for many years to come. How you doing, man?
I just want to thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much, too. I'm just glad to see you, man.
Next on KATU News.
Why the parents of 2 middle schoolers charged with sex abuse didn't know about any problems at school until arrests were made. And hear from the family of a 12-year-old allowed behind the wheel, causing the crash that took his life. Next.
How healthy are your eyes? To help them stay healthy, try new Eye Health and Vitality from Bayer Nutritional Science. It supports healthy cells and tissues in the eye with a unique formula containing lutein and zeaxanthin. Eye Health and Vitality from Bayer Nutritional Science. How vital do you want to be?
When sinus pressure from a cold or allergies start to build, all you want is relief. Relief from sinus pressure, from feeling so stuffed up, so congested. You might just blow. That's why there's Sudafed PE. The medicine in Sudafed PE is clinically shown to relieve nasal congestion in minutes. Sudafed PE. Get your head back where it belongs. And for longer-lasting relief, ask your pharmacist for Sudafed 12-hour or 24-hour. They're behind the counter.
In the coming weeks, I will continue to report on this story, along with my colleagues at ABC News, because the human cost of war is sometimes overlooked. No one comes back from war unchanged. The wounded face challenges that will last a lifetime and need support that matches their sacrifice, so that they are, in the words of George Washington, appreciated by their nation. I'm Bob Woodruff. Good night.
To watch this ABC News special again in its entirety and free, just go to abcnews.com starting tomorrow morning. And send in your questions to Bob Woodruff at abcnews.com and watch them get answered on our 24-hour news network, ABC News Now.